So we're here about the chapter 3 today, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you're supporting this whole process and everything. So if you want to please start to just introduce who you are and your first reflections possibly of Daily Sex book. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm Lena. I live in Sweden. I have France as my second home, but I lately lived in Canada for 7 years. I met Matilda in France 9 years ago. It was in October. We fell in love.
Yes.
Yeah. And from there we have shared many wonderful moments. So I think it's wonderful because the expression in the book is so much you. You have really found your authentic self, and it's such a big difference since I first met you. Wow. I hardly believe it's the same woman.
You can if you want to describe just a little bit, you can, if you want to compare, you can say something. What's different?
You were really very full of male energy, I would say. Yeah. And which is doing, performing, quite speedy, little Speedy Gonzalez. You had your hair cut in a very special way, like teenager girls, they cut their hair that way when they want to protest, you know. So you had very, very strong energy, but there was a deep longing inside you. Me myself, I did a journey since for 9 years as well. So I was not the same. But that is how I remember you.
And so great to get that reflection.
Yeah. So everything had to be out of bounds then. You couldn't paint on one paper. You had to put the 10 together and then you painted on the wall, you know. So it was really, lot of expressions, very expressive. And now I can feel that you have done that journey outside yourself, and you know now do it inside your internal universe, which is as big and great as the outer universe. It has no limits. There is no ending. Thank you for letting me be here and sharing.
Yay!
With you.
Makes me so happy. Oh, makes me so beautifully happy. Beautiful, beautiful.
You're very brave. Really, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll answer that later. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Linda, my dear.
Oh, yes, my beloved. I second you, Lena. This is the woman I fell in love with when I saw her. Just on a technical note, I hope my sound and connection stays good. I had a little glitch there, but just for everyone watching. So I will continue. Oh, Linda is my name. I reside in Iceland underneath a mountain where I have decided to amplify the frequency of love, healing, support for humanity through various workshops and activities that I believe invite an invitation to remember who we are. And that can be in various ways. It is largely connected to shamanic earth connection ways. And it was my deep, deep delight to meet Matilda when she was operating as a chief facilitator to bring the community of Iceland, spiritual, awakening community, light wakers in this world together in something of a frequency that had never happened before. She blew me away with her energy. I had a great self-reflection as well, and continue to have. She's my greatest mirror because she dares to say what needs to be said always. And yes, very, very much we have started to weave in a very physical way into our work together, with workshops that she recommends that I attend that become life-changing for me, and a potential exploration of many other things that are birthing. So we are in birthing together in many ways, and she touches me every day. I can quite literally say every day, this woman, sister, lover, all names, touches me in a most profound way. So when I opened up her book, what happens? Well, it is not the first time that, even though I've never, up until very recently, 2 days ago, read the pages, it's been alive in my world. I've known of its coming. I remember the first conversation with Matilda at a cafe, when really the dawning was coming, when we lowered our voices a little bit to speak of sexuality, for we were amongst the other world. And since then, much has happened and much has flowed. But as I read these pages, I realized again how authentic, clear her transmission is, how unaffected by the fears, illusions, shaming she is. I would not say above all that, but how integrated she is with all of that, and yet staying.
We have a little slow sound, I think.
And unperceivable confusion. Okay, is my connection a little? Okay, I have a little, okay. And so I read many things which we'll come to, obviously, in the discussion that follows, but my first impression is how necessary, what a healing force of wellness in the world. How her face on the cover reflects to me everything about de-armoring, letting go of makeup, letting go of anything that supposes that we need to be anything as women, or has a way to need to be something. It's free of. It's daring, it's courageous, it's showing up as a partnership with her partner in such a rewarding way. And I salute him as well for being part of this, for of course he is embedded in all of these pages. So I'm here in awe, because many steps are being taken in the world towards a better world and a new earth. And I think this is a rich part of that evolution. You are evolution, Matilda.
Thank you for those fantastic words. Let's leave it. Thank you. So here I will stop the recording, and there will be some more later. Yes. Yeah. So thank you for that enormous, wise and deep and everything introduction and your reflection. So chapter number 3, it's called Sexual Energy. Can I tell you what's really amazing with this? Because I got these questions over the years. Why don't you share? How, share? And I have not known, how do I share? Yeah, and now I've kind of found this, and it's been so delicious to write some wisdom, and then feel into my own body while it's happening and write that, and it's been such a pleasure doing it. It's beautiful. And now I'm very scared of how it's taken, that's just how it is. And that's why I'm like calling you in to support, to like research this a bit. But what's also amazing is that when I'm, sitting or lying down and with the topic of sexual energy, then the chapter is just coming, and it's not changed. That's in every chapter. It's like whoops. So the text is not changed. Yeah, maybe the grammar somewhere, but every chapter is like, it's one flow, that's it. It's just interesting. I have no idea how it works, but that's how it is.
Oh, you know, you're connected.
Yeah.
You have connected to the source.
Mm.
You have connected your inner source with the outer source, and then yeah,
Yes.
things like that happens.
Mm.
Mm.
I've heard about it. Now
Yeah.
I'm experiencing.
I don't know. Some people call it flow.
Mm.
Mm.
The shamans would call it being a hollow bone, a
Mhm.
channel.
Bone. Oh yeah.
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 It flows through
Mhm.
that hollow bone. You are
Mm.
channeling through.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
And then
beautiful.
that will happen when you can take away your own ego.
Mm.
Then it opens up
Mm. Mm.
Yes.
for the universal force.
And
That is amazing. And
that's
there is a saying, you have to become somebody before you can become nobody. So every person, I think, has a journey of becoming somebody, but then that's not the goal. That's only, yeah,
Yeah.
a little sub goal or whatever.
Mm. Also, it's interesting because I have all these conversations now with my closest family and children and everything. So to have everyone being okay with that, I'm speaking about vaginas and like all of a sudden sexual everything, and at the same time it's funny that those words come from me, but for me it's so clearly it does not have to do with me at all. Nothing of it has to do with me. I'm just some kind of role for people to reflect on in some way. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's so perfect.
Mm.
Yes, you are playing a role, a very vital. You're a key. You're a guardian to a wisdom that you are allowing to come through you, even getting out of its way, I would say.
Mm.
Just stepping out so that you may hold guardianship over that wisdom.
I have to shake my body when you say that. Like have to allow it to come through.
Yeah. You do it so effortlessly.
Mm.
Always, as I see. Truly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Reflections from the words in the chapter.
Oh, Lena, could I start with a little flirtatious remark? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling. So I made many reflections came up. And I felt first of all, we're all going through a time on earth of being asked to distance. Yes, it's a time of separation, even in so many ways. And we are humanity asked to, from our very highest, I believe, to stay connected. Yes, stay connected. If we say on just a mere practical level, let's say connected so your immune system is in flow. Stay connected so that your human peace, harmony, facility to be at ease is at flow. Stay connected and be in your nature. And what would meet that better than being in your life force of Kundalini, to be in the flow that allows for the ease of that stream come through every day through no outside force but your own bliss. Even if you are, see, this handbook could also be make love to yourself every day. Absolutely. What if you could be in your bliss every minute of, like Matilda, so that your impeccable immune system is there. This could be a COVID handbook. This could be, how do we manage as human beings, as the cells of this planet, to keep breathing through a time of change? Well, this is my first impression as I open up this book this time. And on the flirtatious note, I would say, if you're in your flow, and I love the energy of flirting. Flirting is a innocent, playful, always receptive, curious energy that you can't help but be in. If you're more sexy, you're more in that awareness of being in your body, and that another being engages with you out of that, in the supermarket, in the petrol station. So you're even contagiously bringing bliss to the whole world around you. Well, isn't that the best book ever? I say, yeah. Come into that, humanity. That's my first impression.
Yeah. Absolutely. The whole thing with the whole book is really about trying to describe how it is to feel that bliss all the time, and opening up the possibility. Maybe there are people who doesn't know that it's possible to walk around in like orgasmic bliss the whole time, and it's there and should be there for everyone, and it should not be locked down, and that's like new, maybe.
Yeah. And for that sake, we have to start using the words. We have to start loading them with new stuff, and I think we women has to take the lead role. I had a vision long time ago. I saw a bus, and I came onto that. I entered that bus. It was in the mid winter, but it was very hot on the bus because they put all the heating on. And there in the back of the bus sat 3 women, and they had opened up their coats, and they were all 3. They sat there and they were massaging their breasts, just like that, and just because it's good for you, it's good for your health, and nobody cared around. It wasn't like sexual abuse, because if we can be proud of our sexuality, then there will be no Me Too, no need for Me Too, no more, no sexual harassment, because you can't harass a woman that is proud of her sexuality, that has made peace with her breasts, her vagina, all her sexuality, and that can speak freely of it and enjoy it freely.
I have to connect to that, because that is also, I can say vagina, I can say secretium, I don't know all the words in English, but I can say dick, I can say sex, I can and this that the dirtiness of what my experience of what or shaming and everything, that we need to, like, just like you say, Lena, like fill the word with sex, for example, with light, with beauty, with sensuality, with, it's like relifting it, upgrading it again.
Yeah. So, and then about the chapter 3, I think it's really clearly written, really, really good. It's easy to read and to connect to it and to understand. So I just say bravo, because much things that you have written before that I have read has been really blurry. So not very clear, but this is the only chapter I read, and then the introduction and stuff. So this is like, I can tell that you're in flow. So now it's the time. The time has come. Yeah.
Because I'm happy to hear that, Lena, because the whole thing of mixing, like writing about some kind of thought, pieces, mixing with the sensation in the body, it's like, my question have been, is it possible to read? Because it's not like regular grammar, everything. It's more like speaking or poetry sometimes, or like this. So I'm very happy that the experience is clear. That's fantastic. Yeah.
can I add in there? Because Lena, when you say that, because I am always tackling the idea of not getting lost in translation. And especially when we're speaking from the body, from our breasts, from our heart, how to do it. And there was a piece in that chapter that I thought was so perfect to that. You turned our attention to your vagina and said, right now, as I'm sitting here, I'm feeling my energy, and I felt it at the same time because you placed me there. I breathed in, you spoke of breathing, you spoke of, how you were directing it and feeling it. So, aside from having a book that offers a mini meditation in the middle of it in some sound way or so forth, this is, I think, a perfect tool, and I'm sure you've used it in other parts of the book, to simply get us into the body very quickly, and into Matilda, into, she's sitting there with people next door. This is very personal. This is a human being. She's not sitting in her office writing this book. No, she's alive, having a moment and using it in this manner. It's beautiful.
How interesting, because it's also, the thought of now I'm going to produce something, that's not at all for me. It's just my, sharing going on. So hearing you, for example, now describing that when I write that I take a breath and I feel my vagina, that you do the same. So maybe everyone who reads the book will do the same. That's so funny. I just love that thought.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh. How cool,
You know what I wish? I wish that David would write his book from a man's perspective.
Yes, I wish that too. You have to ask him, because
I will.
Yeah, because I can tell you, because if it would have been only my choice, which it's not, because I'm having everyone with me, then it would be him and me on the front.
Yeah,
that was my choice. But he, at this moment, he's not wishing to be there. Yeah. So, but I'd love to. It would be a complete different book, and fantastic and extraordinary. Yeah. Let's see. You have to request it from him.
Oh yeah, I will. I will start the.
Yes. Maybe he and Roland can write together.
Yeah.
It's also something else, Matilda, that really struck me as important to me when you said it. Because here we are also, many of us, evolving what we call spiritually. So I remember when I met you and you started introducing ISTA, to go into shamanic sexual workshops that would truly start to bring me into landing into my body. So there's a sentence in there somewhere describing, how we now start to put into focus that which is below the waist. And I had this expression going on many years to myself, that my spiritual evolution was not happening below the waist. And I knew that there was no full integration going to happen within my being without this component. For the fear of it, I did not go there. And for your courage, I went there, because you celebrated it so much and made the offering so clear that this could benefit me and be that which was the finest progression towards the whole of me coming into life force. And of course, it's changed everything. And I so clearly now see, of course, my sisters or brothers who are bypassing sexuality, and they come to you can go no further at a certain stage of your progress without it. It simply cannot go to the root of you. It cannot even go to the root of problems, if we say, or we are, yeah, sorry about the connection, maybe. So we're at a point where we all perhaps want to offer something into this time on earth. How to connect to earth unless we go to our first and second chakra. That's where she connects to us. That's where we draw upon our roots and our life force to come through from earth. So we're denying ourselves all of that. I denied myself all of that and was working on a half battery, a half life force. And I love you for this, that you put that in there.
Well, you took it, so that's great. Lena, reflection on having like the root chakra and sexuality. You have been, mixed into trainings in this area for a long time also.
Yeah, I have, and I absolutely agree, because spirituality, by tradition, it's like light, and it's up through the heaven and heavenly, and that is only half of it. Half of the spirituality is down to Mother Earth. And before you really experience that, first time for me, I think it was my Qigong teacher, Carlos, from Argentina, who, with this Taoistic massage, opened up that channel for me. And that might have been 25 years ago. And it made such a difference. It was like, oh yeah, I have kind of always been a nature child, or is a nature child, with my feet very deeply rooted. But I couldn't in the ground and in the forest, but I couldn't really see and feel the connection between that and spirituality. So I thought spirituality is something else. But it's one thing. And I think one of the reasons must have been this church run by men who just said, okay, we don't need that. We're going to be up here where it's, the male energy. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
No. To me, I would like to connect also, because someone in one of the previous recordings also talked about that. Without feeling like the rawness and the roughness and the anger and the dark, and without having the whole spectrum, you don't feel the bliss.
No.
If you can't go down, you cannot go up. So that's like the connection of allowing yourself to feel the rage and the scariness and the, like feel the whole thing. That's like the access of getting into your body, and that's what has happened with my body. This whole project was like as you wrote in chapter 3, that was David coming to me with an article. You want to try to have daily intercourse or daily sex or something, and we started that, and that the whole activity, about that has kind of opened that channel. So the whole like raw force can also be in the bedroom, and like that's why the bliss can kind of stream through. Yeah, I had no idea that it was possible, that it is possible.
No, because there is no language for it.
Yeah. No, we're starting to like create the language.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Matilda, what the first time I met your partner, I realized something that struck me as so fundamental. You were quite sovereign, both of you. He was very different from you, quite dramatically at times, speaking his mind in a spiritual community with quite a wild force of his own, and I loved it. And you, as opposed to any regular situation of a woman there with in her own space. You were in your own field of excellence, your center, and he was expressing quite a different opinion. There was nothing triggering you. There was nothing. It was all in the flow. It was all. There was no judgment. There was love. There was even you kind of playfully looking at him with his completely authentic expression, enjoying his rainbow. And he was completely the other side of the rainbow at that point.
Yeah.
And how it struck me as, I wondered, how do they do this? How is it that they are able to keep this flow? And of course, what I realize more and more, now being around both of you, and you particularly, is that you are, it has affected, like neurologically, you are so in a state of relaxation in your nervous system that there are hardly any triggers. You are quite clear in your perception of what is boundaries and what is mine and what isn't mine. Your level of excellence in how you perceive what is going on in the emotional field is, of course, you're a life coach. I know you've also trained this on a very academic, if you like, basis, but it's in your body that I felt it. Yeah. And in your spontaneity and in your ability to just switch and say, oh yeah, well, that could be. Not holding on to anything, my own opinion, my own fortress, because you were free. You weren't in a fortress. And it was so obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just connect to what I hear and what you're saying. One thing is that from the very beginning of us meeting, it's been, when you say it in that way, Linda, very clear that we are two different individuals. It's like two sovereign beings. Yeah, different. Yes. Different different values, different thoughts, different all kind of things. And of course, there is a love, and there's like three different pieces: it's him, me, and then it's the unity. So he is free to be as he is. I'm free to be as I am. Also in the same, when we're in the same room, or in the same community, or like that. That's one thing that I hear. I'd like that we allow each other to have different opinions or whatever. We don't have to be, the union doesn't need to go to somewhere. It's like two different sovereign beings. And the triggering part, I'm not really agreeing there, because we're two very dynamic people, so we're very triggering. Also, even though I appreciate and I hear, yes, there is like a relaxation since we're meeting so often in orgasms and like releases and like that. So in a way, there's a lot of relaxation, yes, and we're still very dynamic. And this, if you ask our children, it's not like like a nice place only to be in. It's very complex and there are things happening. So it's very, alive, everything. Definitely.
Yeah.
I just want to bring that in also. So.
Yes.
Lena, you want to reflect on this? Or?
Yeah, I think alive is a key word here. Yeah. Because just walking around in flow and being totally relaxed, it's not being alive. I think that's like, I don't know, you have shut down so much because you've given up or whatever. And so I like that. I like the dynamic and to dare to be dynamic and to really express your differences as two human beings who have this together very, very deep. I think it's a wonderful thing that you've done. It must be super, super unique. I never heard of any couple that had sex every day, except when you're away from each other, of course, but every possible day. Yeah.
Yeah, and also after 4 children, and like
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know, by the way, you know,
By the way,
yeah, 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 and that's why I've gotten this. You should write about it. You should like tell
Mm.
about it, and I have not understood how to, but
No.
this is now the like, what it's an attempt to kind of bring out the pearls, kind of what is it we're doing, what is it that works, and not work,
But from your own perspective, because that is really nice, because the moment that you kind of go up and become some kind of teacher, you will lose us, the readers, and you haven't done that. You are a teacher in other contexts, but not in this context. It has to be very genuine from yourself.
And
so,
to me, I have to bring that in because also when I'm a teacher in other areas, the whole approach that I have in life, that is just who I am, and I don't think anyone can take that away from me, is that I can never in no way feel your experience.
No, you're right.
No, I could never know what Linda is sensing in her system. So how could I, try to say what works for you or say what works for you? It's not, from that's like the coaching approach, that is who I am. So that's why it's so clear for me. The only way I can do is to like show how it is for me. Try to, just share, and you do whatever you do with it, kind of in that way. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is good. And so that is one of the traps when you write something, to say too much. You have just leave it. Yeah, and I think you have, because I haven't read many chapters, it's just one, and I'm really looking forward to reading more chapters.
It's 33 of them.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's good. It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when Matilda asked me some weeks ago if I had any questions just about the concept of the book, I said what I'm still thinking now, and I think it's so remarkable. I said, how do you still, how do you manage to get turned on? What is that thing of turning on? Well, some weeks have passed since I asked her that, and she duly said, that was a valid question, but actually I have a much different sense about it now. Now that I feel you in this book, I realize that you don't ever have to get turned on. You are turned on a permanent basis. You've long gone past that milestone that says in some way that someone else needs to turn you on, that a situation has to come that governs your sexuality, that the lighting has got to be a certain way, that he hasn't put the candles on, so it's not going to happen. You're engaged in being turned on in every faculty, every situation, archetype that you are in your life. And so it's effortless. You don't even have to turn the lights on into that, that romantic position, yeah. And that's quite I still find that a challenge in me, because I'm not there. And the question is still alive in me for myself. How do I always feel? How would I feel about being constantly turned on? And what would I do about that?
Yeah. And I love to reflect on that, because there's several really pearls in what you're saying. One thing is, you understand now that I'm turned on the whole time, and that's correct. That's just how it is. And just starting to say that. And for example, I didn't know that it's possible. I thought, you have to be turned on and then turned off. Today, that's not how it is, but that has been a journey. So what I know is that that is a possible journey for anybody to have if there is an interest in doing that. That's what I think, because I had not known that that was possible. So it's possible to experience the same thing, you know. Absolutely. That's one piece. And then I got the same question also just yesterday from my 15-year-old when I'm talking about the book. She said, but how do you know, are you turned on every evening? Or, you know, something like that, you know. And the whole thing is that it's so there already. So just being in contact, it doesn't matter if it's like part of a furniture or a person, you know, it's very essential, it's already there. So when it's two bodies supporting each other, if you're not like there going into some action, then the other person is committed to doing that, and then you get caught into that. So it's like very short into it. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same experience. I read a book, I don't know how many years ago, quite a few years ago. A little thin book, Druis, I think. He's a shaman from from Mexico, and it's called the Art of Love. And he said, if you just do it, have sex, and then the turning on thing, it will come, but you have to just start doing it without any thoughts that it has to be in certain ways or any expectations. So just going in and doing the thing without any expectations at all will open up for experiences that are beyond your context. Explain them. If you compare to, okay, now I'm putting on my sexy things and I'm going to be I'm going to turn you on, and then this and that is going to happen, and then it's fine. I think this kind of sexuality that you are exploring when you do it frequently and without kind of expectations, it's something so much, I don't know, yeah, it's much more fun. Because it varies. It varies with every day. It's different. Every day, I think the journey there. I don't know. Don't you feel the same? It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's makes me laugh because it's, yeah.
Yeah, and also when you're present, when I am present, then the moment is new. Yeah, and my body is like a bliss bomb already. So just the slightest something, and allowing yourself to like just feel sensation and like go with sensation. That's the dance. Yeah. Instead of, no, it's not the right time, or you know, like whatever thoughts there can be of like, I think a very common thing is thoughts we're doing to ourselves to stop the sexual energy. So this is what is interesting to start look at.
Yeah.
What am I telling myself to not, you know, to be at the office? You know, I'm so curious how the future can be being in your sexual energy, having, you know, because it, in a way, it's about being like self-sustainable in your own, like circulating the sexual energy in yourself. Then nothing needs to happen. I had no idea about this either. I thought when I got turned on, I had to kind of go to a peak to get it away. Like it needs to kind of do something with it. It can just be there. It can just be, you know, like feeling the horniness or the sexiness or the, you know, the energy bubbling. It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah. And then in a way, as you're speaking, I'm remembering, and I want to reflect to everyone else, that being around Matilda is always flirtatious. It is always juicy, even when we're having quite serious discussions about things that matter very much and should hold us quite contained, and suppose that we should be in even certain positions. Very often when people are talking, when I am talking seriously, I will not touch the person, but she will make sure that she touches you in order to engage the bliss component, which of course is...
We have a bit slow sound now, I think, again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The words are doing that there is love. Sorry, the connection may be a little bit. She's always keeping that stream going. And because I'm I'm a newcomer to contact in that way, in that cuddly way between sisters, between, brother, sister, community. But I've started to use that as a tool. So you sit a little closer to someone. So you look a little deeper into their eyes. You want to resolve something or get something across, which is very meaningful. And so again, you come to that piece that is about, should we say, the big piece, world harmony. So what are we going to teach to our future children? What would we like to put into place in politics? Let's take it to the most, what could happen within systems as complex as, prisons. Oh my goodness. Could we engage in contact, not call it life force sexuality or anything, just call it contact, that one finger touches another. If you're not prepared to do that, that you sit a little closer and connect with your eyes. And already that life force is getting to stream, and you're getting to feel a harmony and a unity with the other person. It takes no time. You've just solved the problems of the world. And I truly believe this. I'm laughing, but this is what I believe in.
Well, me too.
Again, pray for you.
Yeah.
More orgasms in the world, less war. That's just fact.
Yes, make love, not war. It's, John Lennon knew all about it. They were in the bedroom proclaiming it. And we laugh, some of us at it, and him, and, call it hippies or psychedelia or what. No, they were in bliss. They were engaged in bliss.
But that's also what I find amazing, because this is bliss state. No other medicine than just the physical body, nothing added.
Yes.
It's just oxygen and the own life force. So it's really like the energy can move instead of that it becomes stopped. That's the whole thing, that we allow the energy to move through us. Lena.
Yeah. Yes. What else to say? What else to be said?
Yeah.
I think almost it's a recipe for talking about right nourishment. Yes, we spend a lot of time deciding what we should be, carnivores, vegans. We have so many grades of what is good for us to put in our mouth in this nourishment. What if this equation were put in and we were so deeply nourished? I'm sure at times we would be self-sustainable in energy through bliss. Perhaps we're evolving toward it. This is love. We're being nourished by love. And by the way, of course, we don't have to even teach it as breath work, because our breathing comes into more harmony. It's deeper and it's more nourishing. So we're amplifying all the systems of this avatar, this being, to be self-sustainable. So then we even go to environmental issues. We're more sustainable. We need less outside I need this to make me happy. I need this to be more nutritious. Surely, again, it's a tool. It's an invitation for sustainability and emotional, of course, as well. Emotional sustainability. Don't go to someone else to make you happy. Create your own bliss, preferably with a partner, preferably, or partners, you know, whatever chapter of life you're in there, or whatever orientation, because that, of course, is non-judgmental. And yes, but come into bliss. It's a good place to be. Even flirt it, you know, come. With innocence, by the way, as well, with innocence. Like flirtation it costs nothing. It's innocent. It has no end game. Innocence, flirtation. It's simply amplifying joy, amplifying everything that enriches everyone.
Totally agree. Oh yeah. So France, the French culture is very good at that. They have it built in. It's really built into the society. Sweden, yeah.
Yeah, Lena, I
think also the whole we have not learned about boundaries. We have not learned about taking care of ourselves and like being honest with this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I can say yes and no to. So we don't dare to invite people like to flirt either. So when you're more secure of how where you are yourself and where you start and end, what's okay and what's not okay, then you can like dance with others in just
because there are so many forces going on right now that is just contrary all this conversation that we have, all these beliefs that you mustn't touch, you know. Parents are hardly allowed to touch their own children anymore. It's like, it's just crazy. Teachers can't touch the pupils, and it's
Yes. And this is because we have not understood how to create like healthy boundaries and learn about that. It's all right to feel turned on, for example, when you're a teacher in the class. You know, it's all right to be a parent and be turned on around in the kitchen, you know, and I don't have to do anything with that. You know, so we like need to build new muscles so we can be like freer to feel better.
Yes. I always think, you know, and I'm seeing it in my mind's eye as you're talking, that we're having to devise ways to get back to boundaries, innocence, clarity. Once upon a time when we all lived, say, in one culture, in one teepee, where the children played in one corner, the mother was cooking, well, there were no corners actually, in one part of the circle. A young couple made love, you know, in the west side of the tent, and it was simultaneous. There were no boundaries of judgment, no perceptions that one thing was not appropriate whilst another, no perception that one age could not entertain the notion that creation force was not entirely the most magnificent and beautiful force on earth. Everyone was learning. Everyone was being nurtured and rightfully programmed with the innocence and the nature of themselves, the nature of life. Now we have to reclaim it because it's in our nature. This is nothing new. This is what we're born to, and it's to keep it in its to safeguard it and hold space for this for the children. And it is being done in various ways, by little and big ways throughout the earth. We're integrating this, even in Iceland, it's starting to happen.
I agree. I also find it, and I don't have solutions to anything, but what's very clear is that what's most beautiful in between us, you know, the parents, they never see the children.
Yeah.
You know, and in a way it's kind of wrong, you know, that they don't like, and I don't have a solution of what that would look like, but it's funny in a way. Mm.
But one thing is important. I don't know about Iceland, but I know about Sweden. And one big problem is that the parents don't speak to their children about kind of good sexuality, about and what they learn from looking at these porn videos. So the sex thing has become really violent and very much harassment, and they think the girls, they think they have to kind of ställa upp for that. They have to agree. They have to say yes to things that are not normal, that has nothing to do with sweet love or anything. And they are so young. So this is a big problem. So we have to take back kind of the parents have to take back the
we have to share what works. We have to share the feeling good, the very natural, like start to be secure about, you know, being in touch and sensing, and only yourself also, you know, that it's okay to be good to yourself in all ways. There's so many levels of
because it would be a pity if you have to wait until you're 50 or 55 or whatever before you can experience this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's there already, of course. You know, it's there at all times.
I mean, I was talking on a similar subject today with a friend who is, by the way, doing the most magnificent steps towards going into the school system and offering some of this. Everything we are saying here, it comes into light with what she is doing and her team. And occurred to me even, and you said it as well, Lena, you know, that certainly a certain stage, I grew up in London. I remember it was in the news how things were changing with what fathers were allowed, how fathers were allowed to play with their children. There was a case in question about a father sharing a bath. The most amazing times to be had in a bath, the most brilliant is to feel oneness and tenderness and love, and this was put to shame. I remember it very clearly. It was like a dark cloud came across, and so we all, I suppose, no one is, it does not go past anyone, the very fact that a young, so in this case, daughter will feel for the first time a current in her body around her father and her parents, yes? Now, if that is met by shame, fear, and guilt, by fathers are already being pointed to in some negative fashion, imagine the stream of that energy. Say the little girl is just in his arms. She's feeling, the energy is there. She's evolving, she's growing. And his energy, not even words or actions, blocks it because he is afraid of what all will be, how all will be perceived. And already there is the first assault to that innocence. It's the first barrier to that flow that Matilda is offering in this book, is in the innocence of that child, in her trust of all that is in her nature, that it's not met.
Yes.
I would, this I would love to offer some harmonizing, some lightening of energy and some playfulness back in again.
Yes. This is we're doing.
Yeah.
Lena, a reflection.
A reflection on the whole thing.
Yeah, or we're about to complete now. So
yeah. So of course, I think this is a very good thing you do. So, but I'm curious about what comes next. Have you thought about it?
Yes, we will complete the recording, and I will share a little bit more. So we can say thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's complete there. Anything else you want to say for the like sharing about sexual energy in the end, like closing something?
Always just do it and test what will happen to you. Yeah, but I think and sometimes there is a barrier that you can say, oh no, I don't want to do this, because you have so many reasons. And I think if you just put your head away and let your body talk, let your body decide, and then you will be more and more aware of your body, and the body is much wiser than the head. So that will lead you into your life and every path. And so I think if you have 70% in your kind of body and then 30% up in your mind, thoughts and fears and stuff like that, that is a good participation.
Those are great closing words. More body, following the body.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Linda. Thank you very much, Lena, for this time.
Thank you, Linda, for your wisdom.
Thank you.
Thank you.